Ever feel stuck on a path you didn't choose? David, a successful lawyer, was suffocating under the weight of expectations. Discover how a simple Birdhouse kit cracked open a world of possibilities, teaching him that freedom isn't about escape, but about building joy, one small piece at a time. Are you ready to build your own escape? David sat in his sleek black car, a prisoner of his own making. The sterile garage lights buzzed, mirroring the anxiety that hummed beneath his skin. He arrived early, not to work, but to steal moments of silence before the day's demands crashed down. He was a successful lawyer on paper, but inside David felt trapped. The weight of student loans and expectations crushed him, convincing him he couldn't escape the path he'd chosen. He felt stuck forever. The sunk cost fallacy haunted him. Leaving meant admitting defeat, wasting everything he had worked for. How could he abandon so much effort, so many sacrifices? One Saturday, when the apartment felt too quiet and his thoughts too loud, David decided to leave. He wandered aimlessly through the city streets, seeking relief in motion. Without a plan, he drifted into a local hardware store, drawn by the mundane comfort of aisles filled with tools and nuts and bolts. It was far removed from boardrooms and legal briefs, a world of simple, tangible things. As he walked past shelves, stocked with lumber and paint, something caught his eye. A small Birdhouse kit. The wooden pieces were rough and unassuming, the instructions straightforward. For a flicker of a moment, David remembered the afternoons of his childhood when he'd built forts and birdhouses, letting imagination and hands do the work together. Building something real, something that existed beyond thoughts or worries. Without overthinking it, he bought the kit and carried it home like a secret hope. Back in the solitude of his garage, David opened the box. Inside were pine panels, small nails, and a sheet of instructions. He set the pieces on the workbench and picked up the sandpaper. The scent of pine filled the air. His fingers worked slowly, rubbing the rough edges smooth. At first, his mind buzzed with everything he'd left behind: emails, deadlines, phone calls. But soon, the rhythm of sanding and assembling settled his thoughts. For 2 hours, David focused only on the task before him.
He fit the small pieces together, hammering gentle taps to hold them in place.
He followed each instruction carefully, the simple structure taking shape in his hands. The anxiety that usually wrapped around his chest loosened. He was no longer the successful but trapped lawyer. He was just a man building a birdhouse in his garage. When he finished, the birdhouse was slightly crooked and worn in places, but it was his creation. Something imperfect and tangible. Something more real than any legal brief he had ever written. Holding it, David realized he wasn't trapped. Not truly, not completely. He didn't have to abandon his career all at once, or undo years of work overnight. Instead, he could start with small acts, building small moments of joy into his life where none seemed possible. The birdhouse became a metaphor for his new mindset. He wouldn't demolish the path he had chosen, but he could add pieces to it that brought fulfillment. A weekend morning spent creating instead of stressing. An hour to nurture a forgotten passion. Gradually, little by little, he reclaimed parts of himself. David smiled, setting the birdhouse on the workbench. The way forward wasn't an all-or-nothing decision. It was a series of small, hopeful steps, like the pieces of this humble birdhouse that together built a life worth living. He started taking guitar lessons after work. It had been a childhood dream that he had long abandoned for the sake of his career. He went on a hike every weekend, discovering new trails and breathing in the fresh air. He reconnected with old friends, laughing and sharing stories like no time had passed. The birdhouse sat on his desk at work, a daily reminder that life was more than just deadlines and deals. Birds began to nest in birdhouses, their songs filling the air with music. David realized that it was okay to change course, to find joy in the unexpected, and to embrace the beauty of imperfection. He had found freedom, not by escaping his life, but by building something new within it. And so David continued to build, one small piece at a time, creating a life that was truly his own.